the weekly feed. Kyle, Meredith, Honus from Man. How's it going, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you around here. Got the new record on Oni Pond, which seems, I think we can safely say at this point, your most successful record to date.
Yeah, I mean, people are digging the record, which is good.
Yeah, and that's got to mean something because I've read enough of the backstory to feel like you were always looking for some kind of success beyond being the great cult band that Man is.
Have we gone yet? I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, if at this point you're selling out shows, you've got the radio airplay, the magazine people seem to like you. I mean, that's some kind of success.
We're reaching new people, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I guess, kind of weird to try to measure success.
Yeah. I measure it by can I pay my rent or not.
Are you paying your rent?
Well, I don't live anywhere, so yeah, sure.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Success is made. It is cool, though, because what you've done with this record, I mean, the backstory as a Man goes, you guys got to get the Frank Zappa thing going on. People tend to use him as a bit of a benchmark to when you're explaining what Man sounds like to people.
I feel bad for him, too, for that.
It's great.
Yeah, poor guy.
But this one does. This one has that more mainstream thing. And when you're writing it, I mean, was it ever that thing where you said, it's time that we have to break through, it's time that we have to become more accessible to somebody, or did you just luck out?
I think I've been trying to do that since our first record.
Yeah.
I've been trying to, I don't think anyone wants to toil in obscurity.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do. I don't know. I didn't want to.
So what was ever the disconnect, do you think? Why did it work this time that I hadn't in the past?
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, as a songwriter, I feel like I'm constantly learning how to write songs. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, a song like Head On, our first single, mm-hmm. I don't think I couldn't have written that song 10 years ago,
right.
I kind of had to live life a little bit and before that song to come out of me.
Yeah. When you're writing songs, though, I mean, nothing you guys do is simple. I mean, I don't think anything in your career has been simple, but especially the way you write songs, because it's not just the basic formula either. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in that. How long does it take you to write a song? Because I would imagine, what do you start with? You start with a guitar and a piano or something like that?
Usually it's guitar and piano, and I very rarely write lyrics separately.
Yeah.
They kind of have to happen at the same time, which is the worst way to write songs.
Yeah. So when you go in, though, but so from the moment you write a song to you get in the studio and to say, how
developed is the song?
How do we take this in 5 different sections? And because you're not a prog band, but
no,
in a warped world, you could be.
We don't have the luxury either of building a record in a studio. Yeah. So by the time we go into a studio, for the most part, the song's fully written, fleshed out.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting brand of pop. I guess that's what I'm getting.
Yeah. I think it's pretty straightforward, but I guess that shows what I know.
Now, you even invoke one of the great pop goddesses on this record, because the record kind of ends with Cyndi Lauper, with the girls just want to have fun refrain.
It's like a Philly thing,
Is that it?
Well, didn't the one guy from the Hooters, did he write that song?
I don't know. Yeah, I knew it was a cover when she did it, but I don't know who did it. Yeah.
But anyway, I love that. I love that song, so I wanted to homage it a little bit.
Yeah. How did you? Did you go into it thinking like I've got to put that in something?
It actually wasn't a song that we worked on for the last record. It was really the only part of that song that I enjoyed, and I wanted to salvage, and so I cannibalized that song and put it into this one. I was like, that's too good of a part to let die.
Well, it's a fun way to end a record.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And it's true. Girls just want to have fun.
That's true. So going back to before the record, I guess as the story goes now, you moved to the woods.
Oh, yeah.
You moved to the woods. You took your girlfriend, right? You guys moved together?
Yeah, she moved out there, and I figured, oh, sure, I'll give it a swing.
Yeah. So when you're out there, I mean, it didn't work out, right?
With her, it was great, but everything else, I've never...
I should have specified that, yeah. The whole songwriting in the woods thing wasn't for you.
Yeah, no, she was the shining beacon, but it was one of those situations where I thought that it was a nice change of pace, and in my adult life, I've always lived in cities. And then I go out to the woods and I can hear my ears ringing.
Right.
And I realized that there was a lot of things that I left behind the city that I had to deal with, and they just followed me out to the woods.
Yeah. I find it kind of as a romantic record. Like there's a lot of romance on this record, and I think just hearing about you going into the woods with your girlfriend, like did any of that have anything to do with each other?
I mean, I'm sure she didn't enjoy hearing me write Deep Cover in the next room. That's not the most romantic song.
Yeah.
I did write Head On out there.
Yeah.
But then I kind of hit a wall, and I got maybe 5 or 6 songs, and then I just didn't know where to go from there. So then I went back to Philly, and Chris was the only person who wanted to write the new record with me. And so
Which is like the saddest line I've ever heard anyone say. It's like, well, I could only get one guy to write the record with me.
And I'm glad I got the right guy.
Yeah, right.
No, but it was good, though, because it allowed us to really just buckle down and get it done. Because we both believe that at the heart of every great song should be just voice and drums.
Yeah.
And then if you build it out from there, then you're in a pretty good spot.
With the way you write, and I guess on the lyrics side, do you find that you learn something from your song after you're done? I mean, I say this more on the romance side, like you're out there with your girlfriend in the woods, whatever, maybe you're not thinking about it, you come back, there's all this romance in your, like, do you look back on your songs ever at some point and say, oh, wow, I learned something from myself without even noticing it?
I had that with Head On in a lot of ways. I was writing to myself just about just keep doing it even though it feels like it's not really worth it.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways that song was for myself. But I heard a friend of mine named Joey Sweeney, he covered that song, and I was able to actually hear the song differently. Right. And I was like, oh, and it was actually it's strange to be touched by your own song. But, with someone else's voice doing it and their interpretation. Yeah. I'd love to hear someone else cover that song.
I find that interesting because a lot of artists kind of write without even thinking about what they're writing. They get up to the microphone, the syllables start, they kind of work out the words, and then you hear like 3 months later, they go back like, oh, that's what that's about, even though they're the ones that wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, I can listen to older records, and at the time I thought I was being mostly objective, but then years later I'll hear a song like, oh my God, I'm just like throwing it all out there. If I had known I was throwing it all out there, I wouldn't have done it that way, you know?
Yeah. How much does your Unrooted lifestyle lead to your chaotic sound? Did one lead to the other, or was it reverse? I'm sure.
Well, I because I was in a band, it led to me being unrooted. Yeah. And I have a place now. I moved to Los Angeles, and I have a place now. But I moved there in April, and I think I've been there 3 months total since April. Yeah. Just because touring and stuff. But I'm sure it plays a factor. I'd like to have roots.
I think that's what everybody wants, but can you do it?
I don't know. I mean, I think if this band was a lot more successful, I probably could. But the nature of the music now is you have to tour and you just have to stay active. Otherwise, there's about 1,000 bands every day wanting to take your spot.
Sure.
Fortunately, we don't sound like 1,000 bands.
That's true.
Waiting to take our spot.
You're one of the most unique bands out there. In fact, you'd probably laugh at the term, but you're one of the most genuinely unique rock stars I think there is. It's almost like you're a fictional character. Like Honus is a fictional character. Aside from the name thing, I think it's the personality and the way you project. It's almost like someone wrote you.
I wish I felt like a rock star. I feel like a mess mostly.
Yeah. I think if you talk to most rock stars in the past, they wouldn't feel like a rock star at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe Robert Plant, standing up on the hotel balcony or something with his shirt unbuttoned. But
I think fortunately I'm too inside my own head to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of how Chris and I view the band where it's at right now, is that we just got to stay the course and hope that maybe people catch on to what we're doing. Yeah. And just, I think clarity of vision is really important. And I don't doubt that we have it.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing something else, like writing, like a screenplay or something? Because the ideas that make your song seem like they would lend themselves to that.
I'm a failed screenwriter.
Is that true?
That's what I went to school for.
And you tried that? I mean, could you do it again? Do you think
I'd like to.
Because you're only failed because you haven't done it yet.
Yeah. I mean, what sidetracked me was starting this band.
Right.
Like, I went to school for it, and then when I got out of college, I was just writing scripts with my plan of moving west.
Right.
And then I was going crazy, so as a side hobby, I was like, oh, I'll buy a keyboard and see if I can write songs.
Right.
And that kind of took over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's never too late. I need to collaborate, though. I'm not good on my own.
You just need to find your pal for the movies.
Yeah, or just send him to screenwriting classes.
I think it'll work out too.
Maybe I'll do that.
All right. Oh, and it's great to catch up with you, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.